Hey guys, this is Nick here from Bent on Better. Today I'm going to take you through our global Bent on Better warm-up routine, a collection of exercises designed to get you primed and ready for your workout for the day. So let's start by talking about our jacks routine. And mind you, while we go through each of these exercises, I'm going to provide you with alternatives for exercises that maybe have more impact to them or might be less tolerable in certain joints throughout your body. Remember, the goal is to try and get all of our big movers, all of our prime joints ready and primed for the day. So our first routine again here is going to be our jacks routine. We have three different versions of jacks that we're going to do here. One is going to be a jumping jack, just as you would regularly do them. The second one is going to be a seal jack to the middle like this. And the third one is going to be a cross jack, where we're going to cross over, alternating each time. Now we're going to do 15 of each. And I'm going to show you, instead of jumping, what you could do alternatively would be to do any version of a step with it. So for instance, for your jumping jacks, you can step out to the sides, you can move with it. And that is if you can't tolerate, or you will not be able to tolerate, the impact of jumping for the day. So let's go through this back to back to back, 15 reps of each version. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Next up, we're going to go to the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Lastly, we're going to bring it into that crossover position. So we're going to come in and switch each time. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Great. Our next movement here are going to be squats. Now, if you are not prepared to do these squats, what I would like you to do instead is, while the squats are being performed, you want to go ahead and do another round of those jacks versions. There's 3 different jacks routines that we just did. If you're coming along for the squat, it's going to look like this. We're going to use our arms for counterbalance. We're going to space our feet about shoulder width apart. Bring it down nice and strong, but nice and low toward the floor, and then stand up nice and tall against it. So there's one rep. We're going to go through 10 here. This is number 2, number 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. Let's bring it down to the floor. The remainder of our warm-up is going to be down on the ground. So our first exercise, we're going to bring it into a position laying flat on our back on the floor. These are our glute bridges. Now this exercise, what we want to focus on in the initial start is trying to get our back flush with the floor. So instead of laying down and having a nice big arch through the lower back, we're going to actually try and just keep it down gently against the floor. We don't need to crush the ground, just like keep it flush. And that way we're setting the right stage for the rest of our torso as it relates to our hips. All right, feet are going to be about shoulder width. You can bring them in slightly closer together if you need to, and push up through the hips toward the ceiling. Again, trying to keep that nice stability through our spine as we do so. We're going to do 10 reps here with a hold at the top. So let's bring it down. That was number 1. Here's going to be number 2. And down. And 3. Now be careful not to overextend through the spine. Remember, we want to keep that nice and flat and strong. Bring it down. Back up, number 4. So we're going to think about squeezing and focusing our attention on our glute muscles as opposed to our lower back. Bring it down. 5. Down. 6. Now what you can also do here is just spread the knees apart just a little bit as you come up. Push some of that pressure toward the outer edges of the foot to really target more of those glute muscles. Bring it down. Let's go back up for number 7 here. And as you bring the knees out a bit, you're going to feel a larger portion of your glutes being worked here. Down. Here's number 8. Down. 9. Down. And then we're going to wrap it up here with number 10. And down. All right, stay in this position. We're going to straighten out one leg. Flex your ankle back so your toes should be pulled back toward your nose. Ankle is going to be in the L position. We're going to keep our knee nice and straight here, so you're going to feel like you're pulling your kneecap up by flexing your quad, and then we're going to lift. And we've got 10 reps of these straight leg raises to do on each side. Here's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember to stay on top of that knee. 8. Make sure that it's not bending as you're going through. 9 and 10. Switch sides. Let's go ahead. We'll bend that knee that we just used. Straighten out the other one. Ankles pulled back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. We're going to come up into a kneeling stance for this next exercise here. These are going to be our thoracic spine rotations. So what we're focusing on here is just take a single kneeling stance. I'll show you an alternative if this position does not work for you, if being in this flexed knee compressed down on the ground doesn't feel very good. I'll show you an alternative to this, but let's go through this first. Whichever leg is in front, this is an easy way to remember this. If my left knee is in front, my left hand is going to go on my head. The only place for my other hand is going to be down on the ground. All right, now in this position, we're going to try and bring our elbow down toward the other wrist, and then we're going to head all the way back out, twisting as far as we can in the opposite direction. The goal here is to use our muscles to twist and not just push off of the floor. So here's number 2, and I'm using the muscles in my upper spine and my mid-back to really help solidify that twist. Here's number 3, and down, and 4, and down, and last one here, 5. Excellent. Let's switch sides. Remember the setup for this one. Whichever leg I'm taking that front stance with is the same hand I'm going to place on my head. Other hand's going to go down on the ground. I'm going to bring it down, and then I'm going to twist out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and lastly here, 5. Great. So the last 2 exercises will be down on the floor here. Now before we jump to that, as promised, I do want to take a step back. The alternative exercise to those rotations, if the kneeling position did not feel very good for you, what you can do is find a wall, maybe a bench, something about knee height or greater here, to use as support to help through a twisting motion. So right now you're going to see a lot of the back view here. So you see me over at the wall, and what I want you to do is just place one hand out in front, take a bit of a step back away from the wall, and we're going to get down into a nice athletic stance. We're going to reach our arm all the way through, and then back out to the side. Reach our arm as far through as we can, and back out to the side. We would do the same thing on the other side. Now I'll show you what this would look like if you imagine I have a wall in front of me here. I'm taking a nice athletic stance. I'm reaching my arm through, and then back out to the side. If I were to change the side that I'm doing, reaching the arm all the way through, head is down, I'm looking at the camera here, and then back all the way through. Great. Now let's go ahead, bring it back to the rest of our routine. We're going to bring it back down to the floor. This last exercise, the last 2 exercises here are our push-ups and our back burners. So our push-up, just a couple things to focus on while you're doing this. We're going to get set up in a nice, strong plank position. So what I want you guys to think about is having your hands placed over top of your shoulders or directly down from your shoulders into the floor. And our toes are going to be pointed down into the ground. We have a nice, strong plank position here. And then we're going to just bring ourselves down to the ground by bending through the elbows and pressing firmly away from the floor, using our chest to do so. And as you guys are going through, we're going to do 10 reps. What I want you to try and think about is directing those elbows down and back. Instead of flaring out to the sides like this, we want to try and direct them down and back into a much more advantageous position to push through. Now, as you guys are going through, the other thing to think about here too, if that long stance with our toes into the floor is too difficult, if we're being met with a lot of resistance pushing away from the floor, instead what I want you to do is drop down to your knees and place them on the floor, Still maintain a nice strong plank position through your torso. We want to squeeze, try and keep your rib cage down and your glutes tight. And go ahead. Now you cut out about half of the resistance there. Maybe those numbers aren't exactly correct, but I think you see the point. Now you can leave your toes down or toes up, but with your knees on the floor, you're going to improve your ability to perform this exercise. I'll show you a few from the side here. So we've got our straight position, our classic push-up. Remember, elbows are being directed backward. I'm in that nice, strong, firm plank position, and then with the knees down on the ground, it would look like this. Great. Once we're done with those 10, the last piece of the puzzle here are our back burners. So this is a great shoulder exercise to take you through a full range of motion through your shoulder. What we're going to do to set up here is lay down on our belly, facing the floor, and hands are going to come out. Sweep all the way around, up overhead with our palms down, and we're going to bring it all the way back around, palms facing up, try and touch our thumbs together. Think of this as if you are making a snow angel facing down. We're going to go through 5 reps here, so there's 2. Bring it around for our 3rd. And then number 4. And lastly, number 5. Great exercise to really put a lot of focus into your shoulder motion. Guys, that's it. Thank you for being here. That is all for your global warm-up here at Bent on Better. If there are any additional exercises that one of your coaches has given to you, including myself, be sure to complete those exercises at whichever day it is, whatever type of exercise routine you're going through, before you hop into your programmed workout for the day. Good luck, and we'll see you soon.